this is a true story. It happened in Yokohama. After you hear this story, you will know the difference between a doer, a perceiver, and a receiver. I was teaching a class, and my friend Anchan, who's been a photographer for our school for a long time, he invited his whole family. So his mom was there, and his dad was there, and his two brothers were there. And one of his brothers has cerebral palsy, his oldest brother. And so when it came to the time in class where I was helping people do different things, Anchan's mom said that she wanted to work on getting her son up from his wheelchair and onto the toilet, because she says, it's getting really hard for me to do this. And she's quite little, and her son is, was 40 years old at the time, and rather not small. I mean, kind of a big guy, bigger than me. So I said, okay, well, let me see what you're doing. So I watch her. And meanwhile, she uses herself beautifully because she has to. She wouldn't be able to get close to doing this without it. But it was still hard for her. I could just see it was tough. So I said, well, I need to watch you do it again. So she said, okay. So then she goes like this. She gets ready and she goes like this. And I said, did you notice that? And she said, well, I haven't gotten started yet. I said, you did something. She said, no, I didn't do anything yet. I'm just getting ready to start. I said, no, you did something. Well, what did I do? I said, you took your right hand and you brushed your hair back like that. She said, really? I didn't notice that. Right? So that's the perceiver. Her perceiver wasn't there, right? And her receiver, she wasn't receiving that action into her person. So she was just a pure doer at that moment, right? That's a pure doer. So that's the problem that happens, is we turn into these pure doers so often when we're busy, and we don't perceive what we're doing, and even what's more of a concern is we don't receive what we're doing. So I said to her, I said, well, it's such an interesting movement. Why don't you do it again, but notice that you're doing it? Like, notice it. So she goes like that. I said, good, did you notice it? Yeah, I noticed it. I said, oh, well, let's do it again, just a little slower. So she gets a little quiet. See, she's starting to receive it. It's not just a movement. It's a very nurturing movement, isn't it? Say, well, why don't you do it again? So I have her do it like 6 or 7 times like this. So then I say, okay, get to work, go do it. And she stands there. She can't do it. So I said, well, what's going on? What's happening? And she said, I'm too old to do this. So Anchan and his brother, they said, oh, we'll do it. They could not do it. They had to help her. So that's the difference. Can you see it? So it's very important. It helps so much if we can figure out that as we're doing something, that we're perceiving it and receiving the action. Then we're all there. So when we're just doing, it's like we're just our will and our muscle. It's just will and muscle. And that's exhausting. It's just will and muscle. So when you start to perceive, your mind is there. And this already changes something. It changes something right away. But then when you're receiving the action, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for someone else, or whether it's picking up a glass of water and drinking, when you're receiving the action, your heart is in it. And I tell people again and again, you can change the body more through the heart than you can through the mind. The real softening, the real comfort comes through the heart.